Hey everybody, it's Kathy here, and I'm coming with a day 2 sketch from series 17 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And this was done by the amazing Jessica Michaels. And this is a simple sketch which can be done so easily, and also you can add your little bit extra to make it stand out even more. So what I've done is I'm actually going to add in a frame around mine. So I've cut out a 1-inch frame, and I'm using the inner to create the 3 panels that you saw in that sketch. So I'm using 2 from one side and 1 from the other. And what I'm doing is I'm trimming them down. I did originally want to go at 2 and 3, but I then cut them down to 2.5, and I'm chopping them down to just under 10. And then I'm also going to round the corners, and I just think that gives it an extra little bit of personality of its own. And I love the colours that are in these papers here. So these are a Chamel paper, and I'm just using them for this layout. Now I'm going with a white base, which is really unusual for me, and I am going to use some ink to brighten it up and bring it into the layout a little more. I've used the wild honey there to ink around the edges, and I'm also going to use the wild honey here through this stencil. Now I chose this stencil here because it looks like lanterns, and given that this is a Chinese New Year photo, I thought it was appropriate to use for this this background, and I like the effect that it has. I'm adding in some lumberjack here, and lumberjack, which is a reddy colour, as you can see, and I'm just doing it at different depths just to create that interest along this layout across both sides. And I like the effect. I don't want it all the way. I do have it as a jagged, and I just like how it is there. Now I've added a little bit of water there to activate the oxides, and that's allowed it to lighten up a little, and also to create those splatters that we like to see when it activates. With the gilt that is a Dina Weekly, I'm adding that, as well as some squeezed lemon, just to add some splatters to my layout. Now I do drag in also a couple of black splatters, and that's because of my shirt in the layout, and I just want it all to link together. And they're all going to go into the background of this layout, and that makes it a little bit more eye-catching. So using the purple here, this is the ocean one. It is just to lift it up off the background. I didn't want to use the black because I didn't want it that harsh, but I just added the purple because that is one of the colours in the photo. So I'm going to line up my panels now before I go to build this layout. And as I said, this is a really quick and easy one, but it is so effective. The photo was taken down at the city during the Lunar New Year, and this was one of the artworks that was on a panel in the street. And the street artwork, I always find, is quite an added addition to any festival, any events. And I love that they do have these beautiful pieces of artwork on which are flooding around the city. So that's why I have included this as a part of my Lunar New Year selection of layouts that I'm doing. Now I've put in the title art, and then I have that quote there which says, "Create the things you wish existed," which are perfect. It'd be really nice if there were more art pieces along the walls, especially where they're grungy and being graffitied not so nicely. The art is actually a positive and a feature that, you know, should be celebrated for the artists. So I'm just putting that title in, and there's how that's come together. You notice down the left-hand side of my photo, I cut circles from another photo that was the artwork, pardon me, to tie in that layout. Now I'm just going to add in a photo tag up the top, just as Jessica has on her sketch, and this is building this whole layout together. I've added in a word phrase there that says "one of a kind," and then I contemplate using the extra circles that I've punched out from that photo, but I've left it as is. So I really am impressed with how easily this one has come together and how effective it looks. The colour palette is beautiful. I've put in the date stamp there, and you can see how this has all come. And just as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, nope, not quite yet finished, as per usual for me. And I'm adding in some Nuvo drop at the top of that panel, the bottom of this panel, and then I want to also include it on the middle panel. So I'm just contemplating where it's going to sit, and I then think, no, I'm not, and I don't put it on. So I've just got it across the top and left, and that drags your eye down in diagonal across the layout. And there's how it's come together. You can see all the detail of that amazing stencil behind. You can see how that is lifted up off the background. That title just looks effective there. And I'm just taking off a little bit of the gum from the sticker creator that I make it in. And that's this layout. So that's day 2 done. It is an easy sketch to replicate. You can make it as complicated as you like or as easy as you like. It's up to you. Don't forget, I have a full playlist link below for this 30 days of sketches. Thank you to Christy for pulling it all together. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope I get a thumbs up from you. It's really important that YouTube sees them. Happy scrapping till next time, and here's my next video recommendation for you.